The year is 7 AH. A fragile peace has settled over Arabia following the historic Treaty of Hudaybiyah. For the first time in years, the southern frontier toward Mecca is quiet. But beyond the northern lava plains lies another power, one that had long supported the enemies of the Muslims. 90 miles north of Medina stood the oasis of Khaybar. Rich with palm groves and fertile fields, Khaybar was protected by massive fortresses built upon black volcanic rock. From these strongholds, alliances were formed and plans were made against Medina. Now that peace had been secured in the south, the Prophet Muhammad turned his attention north. The threat of Khaybar could no longer remain. The Messenger of Allah calls upon the companions who had pledged loyalty beneath the tree at Hudaybiyah.
لقد رضي الله عن المؤمنين إذ يبايعونك تحت الشجرة فعلم ما في قلوبهم فأنزل السكينة عليهم وأثابهم فتحا قريبا.
Nearly 1,400 believers answer the call. They march not as conquerors, but with quiet discipline. Their path leads through the harsh volcanic lands known as the Hara, where jagged rocks and narrow valleys make travel slow and dangerous. To maintain surprise, they avoid the open roads. The journey continues silently under the desert stars. Eventually, the army reaches the valley approaching Khaybar. As dawn approaches, the Muslims pause. In the cool gray light of morning, they stand together and pray Fajr. A new chapter of history is about to begin. As the people of Khaybar leave their homes for the morning harvest, they suddenly see the Muslim army standing across the palm groves. Panic spreads through the oasis. They rush toward their fortresses shouting warnings. The Prophet Muhammad watches the scene and proclaims, Allahu Akbar, Khaybar is destroyed. Khaybar was not a single fortress. It was a network of powerful strongholds, among them the fortresses of Na'im, Al-Sab, and the formidable Al-Qamus. The siege begins. Days turn into weeks. The Muslims advance slowly from fortress to fortress. The defenders rely on thick gates, high towers, and stores of grain and water. The struggle becomes a test of patience and endurance. The Muslims face not only the high walls, but the elements and the long duration of the campaign.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم.
One evening, during the difficult siege, the Prophet makes a remarkable announcement. Tomorrow I will give the banner to a man who loves Allah and His Messenger, and Allah and His Messenger love him. The next morning, the Prophet asks for Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali steps forward, suffering from an infection in his eyes. The Prophet prays for him, and immediately the pain disappears. Ali carries the banner forward. The Prophet tells him, "Advance calmly and invite them to Islam. If Allah guides even one man through you, it is better for you than possessing red camels." Soon the final confrontations begin. Among the defenders emerges a renowned warrior named Marhab. Ali meets him. In a decisive duel, Marhab is defeated. The gates of the final fortresses begin to fall. The legend of Ali's strength at the gates of Khaybar would be told for centuries to come. Victory was near. With their defenses broken, the leaders of Khaybar seek peace. They propose an agreement to cultivate the land they know so well, giving half the harvest to the community in Medina. The Prophet Muhammad accepts. The oasis is secured. But the victory of Khaybar is more than a military triumph.
ومغانم كثيرة يأخذونها وكان الله عزيزا حكيما. وعدكم الله مغانم كثيرة تأخذونها فعجل لكم هذه وكف أيدي الناس عنكم ولتكون آية للمؤمنين ويهديكم صراطا مستقيما.
It transforms a center of hostility into a source of provision. As the Muslims return to Medina, another joyful moment awaits them. The long-absent migrants who had taken refuge in Abyssinia finally return, led by Ja'far ibn Abi Talib. The Prophet says, "I do not know which makes me happier, the victory of Khaybar or the arrival of Ja'far." The Muslim community has entered a new phase of strength. The northern frontier is secure, and the path toward the next great chapter, the return to Mecca, has begun. Join us next time as we explore the challenges that lay ahead on the road to the final victory.